Hello everybody, this is Yasser. I am from India. Right now I'm in the United States pursuing my master's in clinical psychology. I thought I could record a few statements about being an INFJ personality type and what it takes to be an INFJ, how my world is, and how I feel. I've checked out a few other videos about INFJ personality types. They're impressive and I like them. I don't have a webcam on my computer, so I just go with the audio recording. First up, I think that many of my statements about myself is going to be subjective in the sense that it comprises a lot of my personal experiences which many others would not have gone through. However, I will see, or I can see, the INFJ pattern running through most of them. Okay. When I think about my childhood, my adolescence, and my adulthood now, I'm 24 years now, I feel that fundamentally I'm an individual and I'm very alone. And as I grew, I used to stick around with one or two friends. Whenever I finished an examination or finished a class, I was looking out for that one guy, or just one person whom I could just spend some time with. I couldn't very easily go along or go into a group and start chatting with them. I felt that I was not comfortable, and deep inside I felt that the other guys in that group would also not feel comfortable. So I was just looking for that one guy. In school I had one guy, and in college I had one guy. Recently I used to put some thought into what makes it so difficult for me to have a lot of friends. I gain my energy when I am alone. One of the things that I learned is I gain my energy when I am alone. When I go out into a party, I don't, but when I go out into the streets or to a class or around with people, I can feel that my battery is losing charge. I feel uneasy. It is like literally plugging or taking the charger off a laptop. How would a laptop feel? I feel that way. I can feel it inside me, the charge going off and the desperate desire to come back. And when I am alone, I can feel that my system is being charged. One of the things that gives me pleasure is a spacious house. When my parents are not in the house, when I was in India, I feel that it was so nice. A large house which was silent and filled with no one. That was beautiful. One of the ways in which I make life painful for me is by going on Facebook. I am on Facebook, but I've found that it is only painful to read the stories of other people, because I feel that if you see a story, automatically my mind connects deeply into their life experiences. This is also the reason why I don't like to spend time with people, because if I am out with somebody, I feel the need to give my complete attention to that person, to that person's instincts, to that person's needs, to that person's wants. And if I don't take care of his needs, or if I am not responsive enough to everything that he feels, in other words, if I don't spend quality time with him, it means that I am not respecting him, I am not respecting the relationship, I am not respecting the time that I am spending along with him. And if there are 5 people in a group and we are hanging out, it means I have to know what all the 5 people are thinking and feeling and make sure all the 5 people's needs are met. If 5 of us are going, let's say, to a place that we've planned to, and let's say 2 of them don't like to go there, and 2 of them want to go there, and one other suggests another place, and finally we know that we have to come to a conclusion, but the idea that 2 or 3 people in the group, their ideas are not respected or action is taken against their ideas, it is so painful for me. I cannot accept that. So that's why, because that is why, because I have to feel, or I feel so much about what goes on in other people's inner world, it's better not to know so much of it or spend so much time with it so I don't disappoint them. Intuitive. I have been ruthless in making decisions when it comes to my life. I can go beyond the limit and compromise when it comes to things that involve myself and other people. But when it comes to doing things that concern only me, I become ruthless. People get upset with me. I remember several incidents. Let's say it was my friend's birthday party, and we were in Pizza Hut, and we were having pizza. And I remember that we were all sharing slices, and there was not enough for everybody. Very silently, in a very subtle manner, I gave up my own slices to the other people. Yeah, it's a silly incident, but I like that, the way I behaved the other day. So I could compromise deeply and give up and, step back when people need things. But when it comes to decisions about my life, I somehow have to make ruthless decisions. My parents tried to get me a girl to marry when I was 15 years old. I said okay, and when I was 21, I said no. And they tried all that they could, but I said no. I changed careers. I had 2 good-paying jobs, which paid very well, but I still quit those jobs. In fact, one of them I just quit in 3 weeks and shocked all of my friends. It was the beginning of the recession, and people were trying to somehow get into a company and be settled and safe, but I couldn't. I needed to pursue my passion. I had a major in computer science, but I knew that was not my passion. Most Indians are good at computers, not me. I wanted to pursue psychology. Right now, I am doing my clinical psychology here at Pennsylvania. And throughout my life, I have found that it is very difficult for me to make a decision, which I fundamentally believe is not comforting to me. Deep inside, people can sense this ruthlessness in me. Many people, even as they start advising, they intuitively sense that this guy is not going to listen to me. And I know, and I have seen this pattern even when I have gone to take advice from people who matter to me. I have seen this kind of an arrogance or ruthlessness in not considering them seriously. I have to force myself to consider other people's opinions. Not that I don't respect them, but it's just that I value my opinions to be more important for my decisions. I believe that life is not a competition, that there is space for everybody, that we don't have to step on other people to rise. I also feel that I can intuitively sense the beast or the animal in other people. It was the job fair when I was just out of college or going out of college, and at that time I could see how people were, hungry or like beast-like to go and find a job, and the way they competed for the positions that were available, even though there were jobs available for everybody comfortably. I could see how they were competing, rising on top of each other, giving names and making sure other people left behind them. And when I'm in a group or in a gathering, I can sense how people feel. What is the feeling like for that meeting? What is the mood for that meeting? When I like to give public lectures, and when I'm in a public, or when I give a public lecture, almost intuitively I can feel how the audience is feeling. What do they think about me? What do they feel about me? And I can talk fluently and smoothly when I feel that people are listening to me, when I feel that people are feeling comfortable. It's almost a two-way process, that my comfort level in a lecture depends on how well I have prepared, but also on my intuitive judgment of how the audience is feeling. And both of these interact with each other in reciprocal fashion. fashion. As I'm speaking now, I am feeling uneasy because I'm not sure if I'm making this presentation easy and interesting for you. What's the third? Feeling. So I think I've spoken about that. When I was young, I remember, I think I was 10 or 12 years old. My brother-in-law, who's just married to my sister, he had just walked into the house, and my parents were going to gift or give them something to drink or eat. And at that time, they were thinking whether to disturb the couple or not to. And my parents somehow tried to devise a method to make sure that they could get the drink into the room and still not disturb them. And their idea was to knock the door, get the drink in, and tell them, if you like to have it, please have it. If you don't like to have it, please return it. And I was telling my mom, you do not want to disturb them on their first night, then, or I don't know if it was first or second or third, but if you don't want to disturb them, you should not disturb them. If you tell them that if you want to drink, drink it, then they do know that you are disturbing them and you are subconsciously forcing things upon them. I don't remember the exact details of this incident. It was somewhat like this, but my parents appreciated me. Said, "Oh yes, sir, you can feel what they're going through." It doesn't sound as impressive now as it was the other day. J, judging. I haven't understood that component yet between judging and perceiving, so I don't know how much I could comment on that. What about the future? I think the future is going to be great because so much of self-discovery is happening, so much of comfort I am gaining with being an introvert. I can go around and help people, I can support people. I like religion, I'm a Muslim, so my attachment with God is something central to my being, to my body, to my energy. I like people of all religions and like to look at the world as a universal one, or oneness, or unity. Is that good enough? If there is more, I will add in another presentation. I think this was long enough. If you had come this long to hear about me, thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great day.